Karen's sneer could curdle milk from a mile away. She waddled up to my ranch gate like she owned the whole damn county, bolt cutters glinting in her meaty fists. The sun was barely up, casting long shadows over the dusty Wyoming plains. But Karen was already in full battle mode, ready to wage war over a strip of land she swore was hers. The gate creaked as she hacked at the lock, her face twisted with the kind of smugness that makes you want to throw a bale of hay at her. This wasn't just a trespass. It was a performance. And Karen was the star of her own delusional drama. The trouble started 3 months ago when Karen moved into the old Miller place next door. She wasn't just a neighbor. She was a walking hurricane of entitlement. The kind of woman who'd demand a manager at a lemonade stand run by kids. She'd been eyeing my ranch ever since, claiming the fence line was historically inaccurate based on some sketchy deed she found in her attic. I tried reasoning with her once, back when I still had patience. "Karen," I said, "that deed's older than my grandpa's tractor, and it don't hold up in court." She just scoffed, her chins wobbling, and said, "We'll see who's laughing when I call my lawyer." Spoiler, she didn't have a lawyer. She had a burner phone and a vendetta. That morning, I was sipping coffee in the kitchen when my security app pinged. The live stream from the gate camera showed Karen, all 300 pounds of her, lumbering toward the lock like a bulldozer in flip-flops. I grabbed my boots and hollered for Javier, my ranch hand, who was already halfway out the door with a look that said, "Not this woman again." By the time we got to the gate, Karen had snapped the lock clean off and was waving her bolt cutters like a scepter. "This is my land now," she bellowed, her voice carrying over the wind. "I'm taking back what's mine, and you hicks can't stop me." Javier, bless him, tried to keep it civil. "Ma'am, you're trespassing. Step back, and we'll sort this out." But Karen wasn't here for sorting. She was here for chaos. She jabbed a sausage-like finger at Javier's chest and hissed, "Don't you ma'am me. You nobody. I'm calling 911, and you'll both be in cuffs by noon." I couldn't help it. I laughed. The idea of Karen calling the cops on herself was peak comedy. She didn't disappoint. She whipped out her phone, dialed, and started screeching about thieves and squatters stealing her ancestral property. The dispatcher, probably used to Karen's voice by now, sounded like she was suppressing a sigh. While Karen ranted, I noticed the live stream was still rolling. My security system, a little gift from my tech-savvy nephew, was broadcasting the whole fiasco to a small but growing audience online. Comments were already popping up. "Who's this lady acting like she owns Narnia?" And LMAO. "She's about to regret this." I didn't know it then, but the internet was about to make Karen a star for all the wrong reasons. The sheriff's deputy arrived in under 10 minutes, a record for our sleepy county. Deputy Harris was a no-nonsense guy with a mustache that could intimidate a grizzly. Trailing him were 2 K9 units, German shepherds named Rex and Luna, their ears perked and eyes locked on Karen. Harris took one look at the broken lock, then at Karen, who was still waving her bolt cutters like she was conducting an orchestra. "Ma'am," he said, his voice calm but firm, "put those down and step away from the gate." Karen, predictably, doubled down. "Don't you dare talk to me like that." She snapped, her face redder than a barn fire. "I'm the victim here. These people are stealing my land, and I demand you arrest them." She gestured wildly at me and Javier, who was now leaning against the fence, trying not to laugh. Harris raised an eyebrow, then glanced at the bolt cutters. "Ma'am, you're holding evidence of a crime you just admitted to committing. I'm going to need you to calm down." Calm was not in Karen's vocabulary. She started yelling about her rights and taxpayer dollars and how she'd have Harris's badge by sundown. That's when Rex and Luna decided they'd had enough. Harris gave a quiet command, and the dogs moved like lightning. In 36 seconds flat, someone timed it on the live stream. Karen was pinned against her own SUV. Rex's teeth inches from her arm. Luna growling low at her feet. She dropped the bolt cutters with a yelp, her bravado evaporating faster than a puddle in July. The live stream chat exploded. K9S don't play. And Karen's Denizo. Harris cuffed her, reading her rights while she blubbered about police brutality and false arrest. The dogs sat back, tails wagging, like they knew they'd just won the day. Javier and I gave our statements, and I handed over the security footage, which showed Karen's entire performance in glorious 4K. The internet was eating it up. By noon, the clip had gone viral, with hashtags like Karen at the gate and K9 takedown trending across platforms. Someone even made a meme of Karen's face photoshopped onto a cartoon villain. Captioned, "When you call 911 but end up in cuffs." As they loaded Karen into the squad car, she was still yelling, promising lawsuits and vengeance. But the fight was gone from her eyes. She'd overplayed her hand, and the world had watched her lose. I almost felt sorry for her almost. Then I remembered the broken gate, the months of her nonsense, and the way she'd treated Javier like dirt. Sympathy took a back seat to satisfaction. The aftermath was a whirlwind. Karen faced charges for trespassing, vandalism, and filing a false police report. The judge, a local who'd heard all about her antics, wasn't amused. She got community service, ironic, since she'd never lifted a finger for anyone but herself, and a hefty fine. The ranch gate was fixed by the next day, but the internet's memory was longer. Clips of Karen's takedown were remixed into songs, reaction videos, and even a TikTok dance challenge. She became a cautionary tale, a living meme of what happens when entitlement meets reality. I sat down with Javier that evening, cracking open a couple of beers as we watched the sunset over the ranch. "You think she'll try again?" he asked, a grin tugging at his lips. I shook my head. Not after that. Even Karen's not that dumb. We clinked bottles. The dogs sprawled at our feet. And for the first time in months, the ranch felt peaceful. The viral video brought more than just laughs. It sparked conversations online about boundaries, respect, and the consequences of thinking you're above everyone else. Strangers messaged me, sharing their own Karen stories, neighbors, co-workers, even family members who tried to bully their way through life. It was a reminder that the world's full of Karens, but it's also full of people willing to stand up to them. And sometimes, it takes a couple of good dogs and a live stream to tip the scales. Karen moved away a month later. Her house sold to a quiet couple who actually waved hello. The gate's still standing, stronger than ever, and the ranch is back to its old rhythm. But every now and then, I check the security app, just in case. You never know when another Karen might show up, thinking they can rewrite the rules. If they do, I've got Rex and Luna on speed dial, and the internet's got my back. The end.